Hello, this is Mark Smith with Family Tree Counseling, and as you can see, I am in the beautiful, stunning city of San Francisco. I am here visiting my son, but I also have a couple of regular clients here that I get to work with. So I'm going to be, sorry I couldn't get you a little better view of the Golden Gate Bridge. I had a really killer one, but the sound was bad because there were waves and wind, and I think we might get a little bit better sound here. So the subject of the video today that I'm going to be working on is called "Life Can Be Shockingly Difficult, but It's Still Beautiful." I'm going to contrast some lives, some of them famous lives, some of them composite lives of clients that I've had through the years. What brought this up was in my writing group a few weeks ago, my writing teacher presented me with some sea glass. And I really didn't know even what sea glass was. And if those of you don't know, it's like trash from the ocean, from bottles and various glass that gets washed around in the ocean, and it actually comes out sometimes quite beautiful. So I had 5 little pieces of sea glass on my desk, and we were asked to write about whatever came up for us. So what came up for me was, this is trash, this is a thrown away bottle or a thrown away part of a car or whatever, but it's turned out beautiful. And it just struck me that life is that way. That sometimes life deals with us harshly and it's cruel, and we get thrown away and we get washed around in the ocean of despair. But people are that way. So it made me happy to look at the sea glass. It looked like a little sculpture, and there's a picture of sea glass on my blog at familytreecounseling.com. There's a link to my blog, Relationship Jazz. So here's the lives I'm going to talk about. How about the world's greatest golfer, handsome young man named Tiger Woods, and his supermodel wife. I forget her first name. Not because she shouldn't be remembered, but because I'm old and my faculties are failing me evidently. But talk about an A-list couple, good looking, wealthy, famous, had everything in the world going for them, and didn't work out. Another stunningly wonderful, talented life, of course, would be Robin Williams. Probably, arguably, the world's greatest comedian, and had an amazing career as a dramatic actor on top of that, and was still churning out movie after movie at 63 years old. And he did what he did on June the 11th of this year. I also have a couple of amalgamations, but they're people I've worked with in a lot of different forms. A surgeon who goes from woman to woman looking for love in all the wrong, right places. And a restaurateur who has been trapped in his family business. Folks, have you noticed that time and dysfunction and human nature have a way of breaking people and eroding them down? That is the nature of of humanity, and it is the nature of relationships to be broken. Broken in a good way. It will also, if you're not careful, break your career. Life is just so much more complicated than it looked to our 25-year-old selves. So here they were, the best-looking, most famous young couple in the world, and their dreams are shattered by Tiger Woods' sexual addiction and his lying. You can't have sexual addiction without lying. And also by his wife's deep bitterness. It's said that she went after a vehicle he was in with some kind of golf club. That's some bitterness right there. So Robin Williams was just otherworldly talented. He was just so amazingly talented. I admired him so much in his roles in movies like Dead Poets Society and Good Will Hunting. And I'm still shocked and dismayed about what he did. So this surgeon is on wife number 5, and his patience with her and his passion for her are running quite thin. And then there's the trapped restaurateur who really doesn't want to be a restaurateur. He's never free from his family business to be who he is and to do what he wants to do. And that's sad. And then one day in December, he took a gun into his garage and he ended his life. And, you know, in day-to-day life, things aren't as dark or as serious as maybe what I'm making them sound like. But from time to time, you can be shocked. Things can jump up and really be painful. This summer, my daughter became very ill, and we were in a lot of pain, scrambling around trying to get her the help that she needed. So the sea glass is crushed and washed around in the ocean and worn down, but the beauty remains. Tiger Woods went to a very good treatment facility back when he first, it became public, you know, what he was doing. And I'm trusting that, you know, he's continued his recovery, and I'm hoping that he'll be able to regain his form. And it's just that addiction, it actually does cause brain damage. That's not being overly dramatic. It throws off your mojo. And golf is a game where you need your mojo to be perfectly synced. So I'm hoping that Tiger comes back and is a spokesman for recovery, and I hope that he wins a lot of majors, and that would be a beautiful story, a beautiful way for a very painful story to end. Robin Williams, he leaves a legacy that's big enough for any 50 men. His wit, his humor, his insight, his hilarity, his depth, his dramatic acting skills will continue to entertain and to enrich and to touch the lives of millions of people for many generations to come. That's the magic of film. Most of us live our lives and we're on film in our, you know, family photos, and that's it. But an actor or a sports person or an entertainer can sort of be immortal. The surgeon is a man who's finally settled down into one monogamous, committed relationship. He's locked the back door to that relationship. There's no slipping out the back jack or dropping off the key Lee with this guy anymore. He's committed and he's steadily moving toward stability, maturity, and happiness. And that's what happens in recovery. So I know that it's hard to see how anything beautiful can come out of a suicide, but a life is beautiful. And this restaurateur, his children remember him fondly. There's a woman in Cleveland who remembers him fondly and has very many wonderful memories of him and sees him for the kind and beautiful soul that he was. So he's made his peace, so God bless him. So, life can be hard. It can be uneven. It comes in a lot of different flawed forms. And I guess the point I want to make is we're all people that need help. We need the help of a good therapist who can help us piece together all the pieces of our lives and to figure it out. A lot of therapists in movies are therapeutic sissies, and they just stroke their beard and they nod and they don't say a thing. And I know that that's frustrated a lot of my real-life former clients with their real-life former therapists, because when they come to see me, there's not a lot of quiet and there's not a lot of beard stroking, but there is a lot of feedback and a lot of answers, even if it's answers that people really don't want to hear. I tell people, I'm just trying to find out what's true. I want to know who you are and where you came from, and I'm going to tell you things that are true. And if I chase you out the building instead of toward recovery, then so be it. I don't care. I'm here committed to tell you what I see, regardless of how it necessarily makes you feel. And that's what I loved about Robin Williams' character in Good Will Hunting, is he was raw. He reached out and grabbed Matt Damon by the throat and said, "Don't mess with me. Don't mess with my ex-wife." And he told him things that were true, but he was also, the thing that won the day was he was vulnerable. He showed Matt Damon his soft underbelly as well as his strength. And that's the kind of therapist you need. You need a therapist who's smart, who can figure it out, who won't take your crap, who won't back down. I had a fellow in group today, and I was encouraging him to love himself better. I was encouraging him to spend some money on himself. It's only $9 for a tenderloin, for goodness sake, at the fair. And he was saying, "Well, no, it's too much for me. I'll buy it for my kids. I ain't going to buy it for me." And he was getting a little defensive, and I said, "Are you going to backsass me when I'm giving you feedback?" He said, "No, sir." And I said, "Well, thank you. Take it in. Go buy yourself a tenderloin." You don't want a therapist that takes too much backsassing, because it ain't going to do you much good. So find a therapist that can help you, because your life will turn difficult. Don't be surprised when your life turns cruel and shockingly difficult. It will at some point. If you're newly married, if you have small children, if you seem like you're pretty happily married, I'm telling you folks, you're living on borrowed time. There'll come a day where the thing is going to blow up and you're going to be in a lot of pain. Just know that the universe and God's purpose is not to be cruel. The purpose is actually to teach you something about yourself and to help heal something deep in your heart. And it really is ultimately all good, and life is very beautiful, very beautiful. So, sorry if the sounds were interruptive. There's people everywhere. There's little kids running around. There's seagulls. This is a wonderful city, San Francisco. I really do love it. So, people are sea glass, and my foot has fallen asleep. I need to move here. If you haven't joined our channel on YouTube, Family Tree Counseling, please do so. We're up to 207 or so videos, and they will help you. They'll change your life. It's free therapy. Come get your free therapy on YouTube. It's a wonderful thing, YouTube, and our channel's getting 600 views a day, and we're just thrilled with it. And also visit our website, familytreecounseling.com. I got 6 books there, one on abandonment, talk about some ugly scarred sea glass. If you got abandonment issues, you are going to suffer. You need to learn about your abandonment issues. You need to, there's also a book on shame. There's one on affair recovery. That's, you know, painful sea glass right there. So visit our website, and thank you so much for watching the video. I'm going to try to get Alcatraz, but that might be hard to do because it's a little bit far away and there's a lot of people in front, but I'm going to try. So God bless.